What you guys, got another video on 10 bad things about mini PCs. I get asked questions about mini PCs all the time, about some of the good things and some of the bad things. So I thought I'd make a video showing you some of the bad things about mini PCs to look out for. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty about each individual brand of mini PC because there's tons of them. We are just talking in general about any mini PC. And that's what we're going to be looking at. So we've got two here, which I'm going to take a look at, and then we'll talk about them. So here is a budget, cheap mini PC. It's getting on a bit, this one. But you can see, made of plastic. And again, this is a thing to look out for. The cheaper ones are generally made of plastic. The more expensive ones are made of metal. And that's what you can expect if you're going cheap. Also, cheaper components are going to definitely be in cheaper models. And if you want branded parts, then you might need to pay an extra premium. Next, we've got limited port selection on mini PCs compared to desktop computers. As you can see here, due to the small form factor of these mini PCs, many of these have fewer available ports like USB, HDMI, and even network connections compared to larger desktops. So bear that in mind. It doesn't really matter what model you're going for, just have a good look and make sure you're looking for maybe expansion slots, maybe you're looking for more HDMI ports, maybe Thunderbolt 4 or Type-C connections are important to you, so make sure you get the right version. Next, we're going to take a look at the limited upgradeability due to the small size on some mini PCs. You can see this one does support an actual SSD in here or a hard drive you can put in here. But not all of them have this, and this one obviously is a cheaper branded one, and you can see it's got lower quality branded parts inside. There is no extra slot here for an M.2 for an extra storage on here on this particular cheaper branded model. But again, if you're looking for something with more storage, then make sure you check all the specifications and make sure you can put drives in here. Also, some of the drives are limited to certain sizes on certain models, so bear that in mind as well. This one has a large metal housing here, which is going to house the actual SSD if you put one inside here. But again, this is also going to add more power and also add more restriction for airflow if you do add one of these in. So bear that in mind. These are very small contained little units. This is obviously going to be a potential overheating issue due to the compact cooling system on these systems. So you have to take everything into account. RAM can sometimes get very hot on here due to the lack of heat sinks on these, and also some of the lack of heat sinks on the NVMe drives. They have no cooling on them, and they can also run a bit hot. Also, there's no airflow inside here, which can also cause a lot of high temperatures. A lot of mini PCs often have fewer RAM slots, storage bays, and also expansion slots compared to larger desktops, making it harder to upgrade components as needed. If you can imagine an SSD inside here, there's not going to be much room for airflow, and that's a big problem. The small size limits the space for cooling fans, which can lead to overheating issues when performing demanding tasks like rendering videos or gaming. Another thing is the small fan size in a mini PC often results in increased noise levels because smaller fans need to spin at higher revs per minute to move the same amount of airflow as a larger fan, leading to more noticeable sound while trying to cool the system effectively. Essentially, the smaller fan means that they have to work harder to achieve the same cooling performance and also generating more noise. Most mini PCs have soldered processors, so if something goes bang, you'll need to purchase a new mini PC. You can see here, a lot of the mini PCs will have soldered CPU and GPUs, and this can be problematic if you are going to try to repair something later on down the line. It's not like a desktop PC where you can pop something out and replace it. A lot of this stuff is all surface mounted. Poor ventilation and airflow on mini PCs can lead to overheating again and reduce performance. You can see here, this is completely solid and sealed, whereas this side is open. At the back, we have our exhaust area for our fan, and you can see this side has got no ventilation whatsoever. This is quite common on some models, so be very careful, whereas this one does have plenty of ventilation on the bottom with a fan, and also plenty of ventilation on the sides. Then we have our exhaust fan right here, and we have more ventilation here. So we do need access to airflow, and with having none of this can cause problems. Dust is also a big problem. A buildup of dust can obstruct airflow and insulate components, causing them to retain more heat. Also an imbalance: if more air is coming out than going in, the airflow is imbalanced. Blocked ventilation, which we've talked about, and putting components inside like an SSD is going to restrict more airflow in these mini PCs. So bear all that in mind if you are thinking about buying a mini PC. Now, the price to performance ratio, while some mini PCs can be affordable, high performance models may be significantly more expensive than similar powered desktop PCs. So bear all that in mind if you are buying them. Not all mini PCs are built the same. Some have lower quality components than others, and also some are built better than others. So do your research before dropping a load of money onto a mini PC. Some of these mini PCs can be quite expensive. Some of them are overpriced. So be very careful, because price to performance is important, because you can get some good quality mini PCs at a much lower price than some of the well-known branded models. So let's take a look at another big issue with mini PCs, which I see a lot of complaints about, and that is driver support. And also when you reinstall Windows, sometimes the activation key deactivates. I've seen a lot of people complaining about that. Some mini PCs have their own image with all the drivers already installed on it, and as you install that onto the mini PC, it works perfectly fine and you should have no problems. I've installed Windows straight from Microsoft and installed it onto a mini PC, and I've had no issues with some models. On some of them, I've had issues where the drivers were missing and I've had to hunt and find drivers. It's going to depend on the type of components they've used and whether they're generic or whether they are well known to Microsoft. If they are, then the drivers will come down during the installation process. So also the after support is really important for these products. If you're spending a lot of money, make sure the aftercare is there, because obviously you want some sort of warranty and guarantee and support. So you want to definitely check that out. Another thing which is a big problem with mini PCs, which is thermal management, i.e. we're going to talk about thermal throttling. This is a common thing with mini PCs. You've seen me do reviews. I'm probably one of the very few ones that actually show thermal throttling and also show temperatures. I mean, this is up to 100 Celsius, 101 Celsius, which is pretty toasty for a mini PC. Now, if you're looking to game on something like this, or you're looking to do some intense work on it, be prepared, because Cinebench is pushing that CPU pretty hard on the multi-core test here. And of course, this started getting into the red and causing thermal throttling. And also it was causing package ring thermal throttling as well, and it goes up in percentage there. Some of the ones I found to be pretty good at cooling are Minis Forum, and some of the Geekom ones are pretty decent, and there has been a couple of others that have been okay. So just do your research and make sure that you're viewing all of this before you drop your hard-earned cash on a mini PC. So that's 10 bad things, or more than 10 bad things about mini PCs. I will do 10 good things about mini PCs as well, so you'll get the good and the bad, and we can talk about that in another video. Anyway, with that said, I think that's going to be about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below, and let me know if there's any things that concern you about mini PCs that are bad. I'll be happy to read your comments. My name has been Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. Big shout out to all my YouTube members who join my YouTube members group. I really do appreciate the support, and I shall catch you in the next video. Bye for now.